Jody, would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor Byer.
We pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this good and wonderful day. You are the provider of all good things. It is you who have given us governance. You give us the government so that we might be protected, that we may be kept safe, that things may be done in order and decency. We just thank you for that. Father, we thank you for the people that are in front of us, those who have been elected to serve our community. Make them wise, make them able, and can just continue to bless them and lead them. Bless us, the members of this community, that we may be faithful, that we may help one another, love one another, forgive one another, and just do our best to build this community to bring glory to your name. Father, we thank you and praise you for all good things, especially your love through your Son, Jesus, our Savior. Amen.
Amen. Pastor Byer from our Redeemer Lutheran Church. Thank you very much, Charles. Pastor Byer, sorry. All right, we're going to do a couple of things now. Is Ray Coyne here? Ray Coyne, come on up. Ray, come on up first. Right. That's my special soda pop pen. This pen's made out of soda pop bottles. All right, Ray, can we have Joanna and John Vale? Why don't you bring them up?
Come on up, man. And Liz and Colleen, you come up too. Liz is the beach manager and Colleen's in charge of the beach. Decide it. Shoot.
So Ray, let us know what happened.
Liz is the beach manager.
Liz?
Take credit.
It was after hours. They were doing evening lessons, and we had a teenage boy who was struggling and about to go under. Joanna was teaching lessons. She pulled her kid from the water. She stopped. She went out, and John was 2 seconds behind her, and they pulled off a really great save.
So I'm going to say what, Joanna, this is your second save, as I understand.
Yes.
And so, John, as your first save, you don't normally get to say this too often, but there is somebody that walks the face of the earth today because of what you did, because of what the two of you did. Had you have not done that, that person would not be here today. That is an immense privilege and responsibility. It's a wonderful thing that you've done for this community. It is a wonderful thing that you've done for the parents of that young person. And I can't even imagine, so many people, we look out in the world and we have these ridiculous heroes, and I'll say ridiculous heroes in sports figures, because there's no end, or music figures, there's no end of the ridiculousness that music and sports figures will get involved in and things that they will do. And yet, there's a lot of young folks in this audience right now. So you can look, there's a lot of sports figures out there, but you are looking at two heroes right here that saved somebody's life, that person would not be here today but for what they did. So for the young folks in the audience, what I want you to remember is these two individuals are the model of what you should strive for as you grow up. Forget about being like, listen, Derek Jeter is probably one of the greatest sports figures, very positive role model. Strive for this, because this is amazing. So, on behalf of the town board, Joanna, we've got a certificate of commendation for you. And John, we've got a certificate of commendation for you, and I think we're going to take some pictures somewhere.
Don't block Colleen. It's her camera.
Colleen's camera. Colleen, let me get in front. I'm a little taller than you are.
There you go.
Dusted it off.
Ellen, you can look at it.
Come this way,
John.
John. Thank you.
Congratulations. Would you guys like to say anything? Take care. I guess you gotta go back to work now.
Yeah, we opened.
Nice job.
As I
Good job hiring people.
I saved her once when she broke down.
You were my hero.
All right, so National Night Out. Chief, do you have your proclamation?
I do.
Joe, do you want to do the children? Here we go again.
Here we go again.
I only knew, I've read the paper this morning, all these towns are doing this National Night Out. I said, wow, it comes quickly.
Yeah, I'll say something quickly. You're gonna call. Great. Okay,
Well, we have a proclamation we're going to give out. Always the first Tuesday in August is National Night Out. I know Riverhead's been participating for 32 years. I'm not sure how long the program, 35, I think?
32.
32?
Yeah, we've been
From
since
day one.
Since its inception, yes.
Well, for 25 years of that, Bob Dunnigan from Schwing Electric has been a part of it in Riverhead. And believe me, there were times when we had so many block parties to go to, we had to divide the team up in 2 and 3 sections to do it. Now, I guess with technology and the fact that the instant communication, I guess crime awareness is still out there, but people have instant technology to report it. So it's sort of dwindled down as far as the block parties go, but certainly education is still out there. And Bob, we want to thank you. Schwing Electric in Riverhead has been a part of it for 25 years. So we have a proclamation to give you once again. You must have a whole wall almost done with that. You know, but we want to let it know that the town of Riverhead recognizes you, Bob Dunnigan, the principal owner of Schwing Electric, and you work diligently in providing excellent assistance above and beyond the standard while executing the responsibilities of a volunteer in the reference to the National Night Out. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but everyone here should know what National Night Out means and what Neighborhood Watch means. So, and Rick will explain more, but Bob, this is for you from us.
I really can't add too much more to what Councilman Wooten said. We've been doing this for a long time. Bob's been our partner for 25 years. We've appreciated all the support. We appreciate the support from the town board, the police department. Most of all, it's a community police program, so we appreciate all the community getting involved. Every year to start it off, we start off National Night Out with a poster contest that the summer program at the Recreation Department gets involved, having the children do what they think on posters on crime prevention means to them. So if you look up on the wall, you'll be able to see some of the posters that they did. And we have hopefully most of the winners here this afternoon to get prizes, which Schwing Electric actually supplies the prizes for. So thank you for coming. We're planning on going out and doing some Neighborhood Watch block parties tonight. And if anyone is interested in starting a Neighborhood Watch program, just call the police department. It's not too hard, and we'll set it up for you. Okay? Jody?
Yes. So we'll start with our first place poster winner, who's 5 years old, Colson Babinski.
Yeah,
Oh, Colson, you gotta go this way.
Daddy wants to get a picture of it, son.
Colson, is it true? Are you legendary every time?
Good answer.
Smile at Dad.
Colson,
That's a good answer, bud.
here's 4 tickets to Splish Splash for first place.
Oh. Judy, brother, your dad and I. Okay, we can do this.
Yeah, we'll call them. Yeah, that's fine. That's good.
Everybody can stay up here after we call their names, right? Okay.
Ready?
Good job.
All right.
Okay.
All right,
And
you
then
can stay here,
another
Colson.
first place winner,
You can sit down, Colson.
Colson. Oh, he's gonna sit down or
Yeah,
stay
we'll
up
call
here?
back up.
Okay.
We'll get a group
Another
shot.
first place winner is 8 years old, and that's Haley Robinson.
And here's the good prize, 4 tickets for Splish Splash.
Good job.
All right, hold on, I'm gonna take some pictures. You know, we'll get a group picture in the end, I guess.
taking a splish splash with it, that's why.
You, no.
And first place winner, a 9-year-old, we have Sarah Fabricatore.
There you go. 4 tickets to Splish Splash.
Wow, good.
Congratulations. Turn to your picture. Okay. And then our second place winner is 6-year-old Jake Holt. Is Jake here?
No, he's not.
Oh, thank you, Colson. Thank you.
He's at my school.
Okay. All right. So we'll hold on to that for him. Okay, and second place winner for age 8 is Benjamin Crouch.
Croucher.
Come on up, Benjamin.
For the youth and me.
How you doing, Benjamin?
Congratulations, Benjamin. Good job. Turn
And
around.
here you go. This is for you and 3 of your friends to go bowling.
All right.
The All-Star, nice job. Turn around, look at that. Good job. Use the ball.
All right. And second place winner, 11 years old, Zachary Kramer.
Zachary, you here? No, he's probably at Splish Splash.
It's a good place to be today.
On the trampoline. You know Zachary? Yeah.
Okay. Our third place winner is 6-year-old is Malaki Ferrucci.
Smile.
Congratulations. Turn around, so.
And here it is.
Turn around, smile.
We have something for you, look. Okay.
Oh, hold on, you get a prize.
This is for you, ice cream treats for you and your friends.
Nice.
Okay, another third place winner is 8-year-old Quinn Stouffer.
Hey, Chris.
That's a smile. Congratulations.
Guess what we're gonna have?
And Gwen, ice cream surprise for you and your friends too.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Hot day like today.
Just 20 more, hold on.
Good job.
Okay, and then we have a third place winner, our 10-year-old Lauren Matica.
Lauren?
Lauren,
Not here.
Not here.
the older one's on here.
Okay.
No, we have to get him up for the picture.
Yes. So now, does all the winners want to come up and we'll take a picture of
One big
everybody all
picture.
together?
Come on up. Come on up. One big picture for the newspapers.
Good job.
Enjoy those prizes.
Yeah.
Show those. That's it.
Can you like go that way a little bit so it's like more straight across
Yes,
instead
dear.
of in a curve? Otherwise we'll get your profile. You got all the kids?
You got all kids?
Nice. Big smile. Good job.
Alright, one this way, please. Right here. Thank you.
She's done that before.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Okay?
Good job, everyone.
Yeah, that's right. Can I have Liz Stokes come up? And whatever veteran committee members, veterans, you're a veteran, committee member of the Veterans Committee, you generally like Liz Stokes, come on up. Come on up, Liz. Come on, guys, everybody up here. So, there's not a, gentlemen, so it's sort of amazing. Let's come on out in the front here. Get the veterans in the back. This is Liz's day for you guys today. Veterans in the back. We want Liz up front. So, this is an amazing program. For those of you that are listening on Channel 22, Liz came up with this idea to create this veterans card. And so it's not the typical veterans card where you're just going to go get half price on ice cream someplace or maybe 10% discount at McDonald's. Liz asked the veterans what it is they needed. And so I don't want to disclose too much, but the things that she was able to get discounts on is sort of awe-inspiring. I mean, things like work boots. People don't really think about that. You return from being in the military, Iraq, Afghanistan, and you come back and you may not have the money to buy your typical Timberland type work boots. She went out to these vendors, and there's one that's even bigger than that, and I'm not even going to say because I'm afraid you're just going to get these folks will get too inundated. She went to vendors and said, listen, the veterans have said to me in Riverhead, we need X, Y, Z. It's nice to have a 10% off on a Big Mac, but that's not what we need. And so Liz set out and contacted vendors, business owners, and was able to obtain the things the veterans need. And with this one card issued by Riverhead, by Diane Wilhelm, we'll be doing it. Where's Diane?
I'm over here.
Diane has, I guess, volunteered to do this?
Yes.
So,
Coming to my office.
Liz has set up this veterans card where you're going to bring your ID in, and Liz is going to explain what that means to the town clerk's office, and we're going to issue you a veterans ID card that is going to allow you to have discounts in certain areas and places that Liz has worked very hard to obtain these discounts. This is such a special community, Riverhead. You could not accomplish this in, we have such a small hometown feeling. You could never accomplish what Liz did. I don't say you could never, but it would be a very large thing in these sort of behemoth towns to the west of us. It is so nice to know that we have members of this community that care so much and that we're small enough that we can care individually and love individual people in the community. And so Liz has done that. And so Liz, tell us what you have.
Thank you, Sean. First, thank you to all of the town board who, through this initiative, have been so supportive. And Supervisor Walters also. I want to introduce this committee because this committee is so magical, filled with veterans and the history of a veteran. So let me start by introducing two of our guests today. Go ahead.
Howard Dietz,
Korean War.
Korean War.
Go ahead.
Tony Pascal, Korean War.
Operation Iraqi Freedom.
Mike Pankowski, U.S. Navy, Panama Grenada.
John Rago, U.S. Navy, served on nuclear submarines.
That's it. And, oh, my sailor. My sailor.
Sorry,
John Dunleavy, Vietnam.
And between Kim and I am the daughter of a World War II veteran and the sister of a Vietnam veteran. And Kim,
Daughter of an Army veteran and sister of a Marine Corps veteran.
so altogether, we touch many veterans' lives within this community. And Sean's right, that's exactly what happened. We found out what their needs were. That's the goal of this organization, our committee. And I cannot tell you the heart and love that came out of this town to help our veterans. The first thing and foremost, which I don't think anybody realizes, that veterans do not receive dental care when they come home. They receive medical care at Northport and various clinics around, but they do not receive dental care. And our star with this program is Comfort Dental, who has agreed to give 50% off any and all dental services within this town to any town veteran. There are other organizations in here, other merchants. We're rolling out a list of 12, but they're very large. 25% off car repair, 30% off eyeglasses, salon services, whatever the veteran might need. Huh?
New car.
Yeah, or for new car service, they're gonna throw in, at a new car dealer, they're gonna throw in a discount on new or used car. They're also gonna throw in service plus a free car wash. So it's a win-win situation for the veterans and for merchants. Merchants can pull out at any time they want. The forms are online, for the merchant. If you visit any merchant and you say, hey, do you give a discount to veterans? Either you can tell them, call Liz Stokes at the Riverhead Library, no problem, or they could download the form right off the website. This is just the first rollout. I expect this to go as high as 50 or 70 merchants, and that's how high I hope it will go. The card, you have to know the story of the card. The card is red, white, and blue, and it was designed by a veteran United States Marine Corps. The card was printed by a print shop where the owner is a veteran United States Army. The card was paid for by an anonymous donor in honor of the unknown soldier and the missing in action who did not return to Riverhead Town. So this was a zero cost to Riverhead Town with a lot of heart, a lot of love. And we're gonna be rolling it out right now.
Well, Liz, thank you on behalf of all the residents, the town board, and all the veterans. You are just wonderful. You are the salt of the earth, and thank you. And on behalf of myself and the town board, thank you for everybody for your service. Was it?
Oh, sorry.
Take a picture.
Come on, put your arm around.
There you go.
Can you see her? Louis, hold on.
I'm good, I'm good. Can you like stand, so you're all on the same sort of plane? Otherwise, no, you come forward a little. Yeah.
Come on, Cam.
She's afraid.
There you
There we go. That's perfect, there we go. Just like in school. Thank you.
This way? Thank you. Great, thank you so much.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Liz, thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
I got one.
All right.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes of the town board meeting of July 21st, 2015. So moved.
And seconded?
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
The minutes are approved. Under applications from the planning department, we received a site plan application from Charles Thomas for 307 East Main Street, Riverhead, for building alterations. Under reports, the building department submitted their monthly report for July, $115,870.67. Tax receiver monthly report, utility collection report for July 2015, $526,787.44. Police department submitted their monthly report for February 2015 and May 2015. Under correspondence, Sal Mastropolo submitted two separate letters, both suggesting a use for Route 58 store slated for closure. Polish Town Civic Association submitted a letter regarding a brick column with light post at Polonaise Park. Peter Donaski submitted a letter regarding excavation permits pertaining to TRW properties and Irwin Garston Wholesale Auto Parts. Philip Hillier submitted a letter requesting Bayberry Lane and Jamesport to be removed from the list of roads to receive town services.
Oh, is the dog here?
Hearing the dog bark.
All right, let's see.
Yes.
So sorry.
Don't forget about me.
Listen,
Is the dog here? Oh, there we go. All right, so as is our custom, we have a wonderful dog from our animal shelter. What is, I don't have this dog's name.
This is Barbie.
Barbie.
Big Barbie, yep.
You have
Barbie, Barbie's about 3 years old, and she came into the shelter about a year ago when her family was evicted. So there's a young kid that she used to play with, and a loving family that wasn't able to take her with them, and we went and picked her up about a year ago. She was also adopted out in April, and the gentleman who adopted her, unfortunately, was diagnosed with cancer shortly after, and isn't even able to care for himself at this point. So he was really heartbroken, but had no choice but to send her back to us. Said that she's a perfect dog. She's very much housebroken. She actually holds it from 4 o'clock in the afternoon when we leave and lock up for the day till 8 o'clock the next morning when we get there.
Wow.
So great with kids, housebroken, likes other dogs. Not a big fan of cats, but other than that, she is a perfect little angel.
Well, that's their job, isn't it? Cats and dogs, wasn't that
How
the...
old is she? She's about 3 years old.
So let's hope that somewhere in this audience or somewhere in the listening audience that we could find a home for Barbie, because she's been a customer or a resident of the animal shelter for far too long, and as you can see, she's a very loving dog, and hopefully we can find somebody to adopt her. Anybody here? Nope. Laura, you got a dog? Yeah. Neil?
got one big dog already.
All right, well, we're working on it. All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Somebody who said he had cats.
Okay, so that was the dog. Barbie. Are there any other town board announcements? Committee announcements? Cardboard boat race,
That's right.
we're gonna work on that boat.
Right, August 23rd, Sunday, coming up.
Gotta get- Oh, Friday night is Jumpstart. Downtown starts at 5 really, but I think they're doing something at 4 o'clock. And wonderful opportunity, see a lot of young up-and-coming artists. Wonderful place. Downtown Friday night is the place to be, so hopefully anybody, if this gets on before Friday, you'll be there.
And what entertainment we have?
Well, we
Grangeville
have actually
Park.
at Grangeville Park, the Friday Night Concert Series is, it's a group called White Wedding. actually. It's a pretty good group. It's 80s music, but they change costumes between acts and dress like Cher and Cyndi Lauper and Madonna. And, you know, so there's a lot of costume changes going on.
And that's on Friday as well?
That's Friday night at 7 o'clock.
Wow.
The Jumpstart starts at 5, and their venue runs a couple hours. So, I mean, you certainly can make your way to all the different venues.
I'm going to see that.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be, hopefully it doesn't rain. If it does rain, we're gonna be at the Vale Levitt. So, the Friday concert will go on without a doubt, but it's not gonna rain.
It's
please.
not gonna rain.
I hope not.
All right. We'll move on. We have 3 public hearings scheduled. The first one is scheduled for 2:05. It is now 2:29. We'll open up the 2:05 public hearing. And this is consideration of a proposed local law to amend Chapter 101 of the Riverhead Town Code entitled Vehicles and Traffic, Article 3, Traffic Regulations, Section 101.3, Stop, Yield Intersections, Railroad Crossings, Parking Fields. And this is for a stop sign on the corner of Riley Avenue and Youngs Avenue, which is much needed at this point. Anybody wish to be heard on this?
Yes, I
You could just state your name and hamlet for the record. Good morning, evening.
My name is Antoinette Carboni. I live here in Riverhead, and I'm a member of the Traffic Safety Committee. And this intersection has been on our agenda for over 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it takes that long to get things done. Not that I like it that way. When I passed by yesterday, there was a stop sign on Young Avenue, or some sort of a sign. Could have been but I was on Toomey, it looked like the angle of a stop sign. But whatever. The problem there has to do also with visibility at that intersection. Speed. There's a lot of things going on. I don't know if a four-way stop would be the better solution. We discussed this at the last meeting about stop signs there, but something is needed, definitely. And the other problem at that intersection must be addressed, and that's visibility on the southeast corner. I came before this board 3 years ago discussing visibility. I came again about a year and a half ago. Nothing's been done. I've been assured by Jody that they're looking into it. Doesn't take long to write up something in plain English. I don't want to hear about triangles. Plain English. How many feet from the curb? I am in support of the stop signs because if nothing else, it'll be safety. There's a school nearby. Thank you.
Town board just had an idea. The light went on.
Oh.
Thank you, Internet. Does anybody else wish to be heard on this matter? How you doing, Sal?
Sal Mascapolo, Calverton. If I'm not mistaken, there's stop signs on both sides, on Young's Avenue
Riley Avenue, they have stop signs.
and Riley Avenue.
Yes,
So you would be creating a four-way stop at that intersection.
Correct.
yes.
I don't understand why
Well,
we
that's
need it.
because of the schools right there. School buses, come across Raleigh Avenue. Vehicles are traveling at a good rate of speed, coming up to me with the large trucks coming up to me now. So the best way to control the traffic is, with a stop sign instead of traffic lights, because people try to beat the traffic lights and they get killed. Stop signs are a lot better than traffic lights.
All I'm saying is sometimes a four-way stop sign hinders traffic, okay, and is worse, like on the, if you come out of Home Depot and you make a right and go up to Middle Road, there's a four-way stop. Sometimes that's a dangerous intersection because of the four-way stop, okay? And you should also consider the impact of having a four-way stop on the buses, okay, leaving Riley Avenue School. Is that going to create a problem if you start slowing down
It's
because of
already
a
a
four-way
stop.
stop?
It's already a stop there.
Yeah, it's a stop, but now you've got a four-way stop, and now everybody's got to wait. Whereas the other way, you're clearing the Toomey Avenue traffic, okay? It's just the point.
You mentioned Mill Road and Middle Road. Since the four-way stops have been there, we haven't had a serious accident at that intersection. Do you have minor accidents? Yes, you do, because you can't drive with people. People jump the stop sign. But you haven't had any major accidents there since those stop signs were installed there. So they do help, because people do slow down, they do look, and some people just jump them, but we can't, that's enforcement.
Okay.
Normally, I agree with you, Sal, but it's no different than what we did at Lincoln and Griffin, actually, because that was a bad intersection, too. We just added the four-way stop there, and we want traffic to slow down. And Toomey Avenue is not used it's not that frequent a road used, especially at that time, so it had a tendency for people to fly through that intersection, and the visibility is very poor, especially if you're heading westbound on Young Street, crossing over on
Yes.
Riley. You gotta, that's pretty dangerous there. So actually, to slow everybody down there is probably exactly what we wanted to.
Okay, all right, thank you. Does anybody else wish to be heard? Not seeing anybody, I'll close the public comment portion and leave it open for written comment till August 14th, 4:30 in the town clerk's office. Second public hearing was scheduled for 2:10. It is now 2:35, and this is a consideration of a proposed local law to amend Chapter 108 of the Riverhead Town Code entitled Zoning, Supplementary Use Regulation, Signed Vacant Closed Stores. Jody, is this yours?
Yes.
Do you want to introduce this?
Yeah, this is something that East Hampton uses effectively because they have a lot of stores that vacate during the winter months and then they return in the summer months. So it always looks nice in East Hampton, even when the stores are vacant, because you have some sort of artistic visual, a backdrop of white rather than, plastic bags or butcher paper or the for lease signs, things of that nature where there's no consistency. So this will provide a visual for people that are walking up and down Main Street that may look in a window and say, wow, that's a nice piece of art, or that's a nice vase with flowers or something, rather than looking at wires or ceiling tiles hanging down in a store that goes back 50 feet. You'll look at something that looks nice actually, and so I think it works effectively in East Hampton. I think it will work effectively here.
All right, does anybody else wish to be heard on this? Sal?
Sal Mastropolo, Calverton. First of all, some of the stuff in here is very confusing, okay? Particularly the definition of a window sign. Any sign placed on the inside within no more than 4 feet. Within 4 feet is understandable, but what does within no more than 4 feet mean? Very confusing, okay? What you're suggesting here is very confusing in the fact that you start giving distances. If you're further than 4 feet, you don't need a sign permit. If you're within 3 feet of the window, you need a sign permit. These are vacant stores and you have landlords, okay, and you're requiring a sign fee, okay? Why not just take the vacant stores and ask the East End Arts Council to do artwork on the window from the inside, okay, like they do the murals on the walls, and then they could do it with watercolors or whatever. All right, it gives them something to do. It gives them some place to advertise their artwork. It would probably be a lot nicer than some of the signs that you're suggesting, okay? And then once the store is rented, somebody washes the window and they go about their business.
Well, this will give it puts the burden onto the property owner to keep his storefront looking nice, not on the East End Arts Council. So the landlord or the store owner can go to East End Arts Council and say, can you help me with a display in the window? And East End Arts Council will be there. But we've been doing that with East End Arts Council, and there are still several vacant stores on Main Street that don't have the art space in the windows. So this requires the landlord to do that, whereas now it's an option. So that's the difference.
Okay, but the way this is written, okay, nowhere in here does it mention the fact that you can take the entire window and do a scene on it. Okay, it's almost like you're limited on what you can put in the window based on the frontage of the store. If you have 20-foot frontage, you're allowed 8 square feet. Okay, that doesn't suggest that somebody take the entire window, okay, and do a piece of art on it.
Right.
Okay, like they do, where they do the street painting or they do the murals on the sides of the buildings. That's all I'm saying. This is geared more towards you got to have a sign, okay, or you can have a sign with a screen behind it.
I think, somebody
I know
did.
what your intent is, and I agree. I'm just saying the way it's written, it's written more for a sign than it is for artwork in the window.
I agree with you, and somebody did bring that to our attention after this was published in Post, and where it should read 108-56.2, it says signs, vacant and closed stores. It should just say vacant and closed stores. It shouldn't say signs, because it's not about the signage, it's about making the storefront presentable.
Okay.
Does anybody else wish to be heard on this matter?
I just would like to say something. It's great to make regulations, and that's what we do. We're great at making regulations, but we need people to enforce them. We have regulations downtown that you're supposed to keep your door front clean. and we have leaves, we have snow, they're not enforced. Regulations are great, but also you need the enforcers to enforce these. And I hope the rest of this town board would think about having code enforcement officers start enforcing a lot of our codes that are not enforced now. And the laws that we make are great, but if they're not enforced, they're just paper.
You're on the bid liaison, so whatever's not getting enforced, just talk to code enforcement and we'll get them down there. You can take care of that.
It is, I did read through this, there's a couple areas that really need to look at. You're making a papered over window is not permitted, but yet there's guidelines in the back that show you, if you are gonna paper the window, how to do it, and it's not recommended, but it doesn't say it's not permitted, so. But I understand the concept, and it does need to be done. Streetscapes are very important when it comes to all the visitors come through it, so this is a good first step, so.
I'd rather just bulldoze them as we're gonna do with all of the Sears
I've seen you with a
complex.
bulldozer, yes. No.
I did get to use a bulldozer.
That's right, you did.
Does anybody else wish to be heard? Yes.
Hi, Connie Lissandro. I think the
Hollow?
concept is great.
Baiting Hollow?
Baiting Hollow. I think the concept is great, but I've been this road, and I was when I was
Glen Cove.
in Glen Cove, and let me tell you, some of the paintings and what have you that you get up, you're going to have a mismatch. What you might consider doing is, first of all, there's going to be some empty buildings coming down, but the ones that are left, perhaps maybe a window dressing with even a curtain, and get artificial plants and put them in the window, so it's kind of like all following the same concept rather than having a painting here and a painting there, because when you're coming downtown, you don't want it to be like, where are you? And just, you know, we really need to be careful what we're doing right now, because there's going to be a lot going on downtown, and let's hope it's not too long where, you know, we're not going to have any empty buildings. But in the meantime, perhaps you might think of something on that line rather than doing paintings and posters and what have you, and signs, because it can get very out of hand very quickly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's all subject to the Architectural Review Board and Landmarks Preservation too, when it comes to the signs. So
Right.
they're very particular about what they will allow to be in storefronts and on facades. And I know that they're very capable, and I think that the 4-foot backdrop from the storefront window allows for a display area, and that was the intent. And like I said, it works very well in East
As long as
Hampton.
it's something, in, you know, that everybody's on the same page, otherwise it's going to look just as bad as it is now.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Does anybody else wish to be heard on this matter? All right, not seeing anybody, I'll close the public comment portion and leave it open to written comment to August 14th at 4:30 in the town clerk's office. We have a third public hearing, which was scheduled also for 2:10. It is now 2:43. We'll open up the public hearing. Consideration of a proposed local law to amend Chapter 101 of the Riverhead Town Code entitled Vehicles and Traffic, Article 3, Traffic Regulations, Section 101, 3, Stop Yield Intersections, Railroad Crossings, Parking Fields. And this is for a stop sign on Manor Road and Middle Road in Calverton. And I had a lot of complaints from neighbors in Windcrest East and other neighbors on Middle Road, and so asked John if he would put this on for public hearing, and we have. And so does anybody wish to be heard on this matter?
Chief.
I just want to know where we're
Chief
capturing.
has his hand up back there.
Capturing what? People coming eastbound on
This
Middle
is
Road?
capturing the trucks that are coming out of Suffolk Cement.
It's a blind.
And I think there's 7 or 8 houses there. So the people, Riverhead doesn't have too many intersections that go parallel to, that come in square to each other. You either have to
I just
look
wanna know
this
where-
way,
I just wanna know where we're
and
talking.
as you get
Wait,
older.
where is this at? I just want to know where this is.
I told you.
This is Manor Road,
It's capturing Suffolk Cement trucks.
Manor,
And
and Middle,
8 houses.
where
Anderson
Depot
lives,
comes
Billy
in.
You know where
Anderson
Suffolk
lives
Cement
there.
is down the bottom of the hill?
Where Depot comes in, that 3-way there?
No. We're Middle and Manor.
West?
Yeah, middle of Manor. We have, there's two stop signs, there's two stop signs there now?
There are stop signs on,
No,
the
there's one
Manor
stop
Road
sign on
Park.
Manor Road.
There's a stop sign on Manor Road
Right.
only, so there's just one.
But the older people have to try, and a lot of them have neck problems. You can't turn to look and see if any trucks are coming up, and they get very scared.
I'm with you.
So this is gonna make the trucks stop, so they can get across.
Thank you.
This is what Supervisor suggested, and that's why the public hearing is here.
Okay. Antoinette Carbone,
Right,
Riverhead.
Riverhead. Okay, we discussed this several times for several years in the Traffic Safety Committee. Geo had improved the situation with laying out that particular intersection with lines a little bit better. Mr. Dunleavy had always brought up the point, and rightly so, that the trucks would find it very hard to stop and then make that left turn onto Manor Road. And if you were to put a stop sign there, you'd also have to put it on the other side of the street where it's not really necessary. It is not that heavily trafficked with trucks all day long either. So I personally don't see the need for an additional stop sign at that location. You stop where it is, stops people from going on to Middle Road and being aware that on their right, truck could possibly be coming down. But to put a stop sign there and expect these big trucks to make an easy left turn, I doubt it.
Is there a sign there that says truck entrance or?
There's a sign indicating truck, but you could do it even further up. Before you get to the Manor Middle Road intersection, you can do it on Manor, let's say 100 feet, 200 feet before that intersection, alerting truck road ahead.
Right.
That would accomplish the same thing.
So plus, trucks are only doing 5 miles an hour because they come up a steep hill, and they weigh about 18,000, more than 18,000
There's
pounds
never
full of
been,
cement. So they're traveling very slow by the time they hit this intersection. And
I mean, there are
This is
road calming techniques that could be done there, including a triangle, planted triangle, keeping the cars to one side, but that would make it difficult for the trucks to make that left.
Well, the Windcrest East people are not here. I can tell you at least a half a dozen of them complained to me about this on more than one occasion. So it's a problem for some, and that's why I put it up.
Yeah, but I think if there's an alert that's a truck road ahead, those trucks are not going continuously. That's all I could say. There may be certain hours of the day coming and going they are, but it's not a continuous thing.
Okay. Does anybody else wish to be heard on this matter?
Good afternoon.
Just announce George Woodson, Highway
George Woodson,
Superintendent.
Highway Superintendent. We modified that intersection so that cars can see what's coming down. I think a simple fix is the people that live on the corner, get them to trim their bushes back. Like a lot of places in town, that should be done, and that solves a lot of the issues in town as far as visibility. We did go up there and modify, we did bring the line out so you can see. But if you get the people to trim the bushes back and keep them trimmed back, a stop sign probably wouldn't be bad, but I think if you just get the people to trim the bushes back, do that as a start, see how that works. If you only got 6 people talking about it, it's not a lot of traffic on that road. That's all I have to say on that. But on the other one, a 4-way stop sign, Toomey and Youngs and Riley. I know that we shouldn't really use stop signs to slow cars down. I think if you put a police officer up there, I was up the other day at the firehouse, a lot of these people are using the side road to get to Sound Avenue. They're not even from around here. Put a cop up there, write some speeding tickets, enforce it that way. The other thing, putting a stop sign up there and people trying to get used to it, probably would be better off putting a light, a flashing light. I would hate to be the poor guy coming up Youngs Avenue and somebody from the city flying down that road and not being used to a stop sign there, and see what happens.
Gee, I have a question for you with the bushes. Are these bushes that are exceeding the height that they're allowed in the required setback where they're supposed to be?
I can go
site
measure that, but
clearance?
the way it looks right now, we have, and what she talked about earlier about the triangle, at every intersection there should be a 30-foot triangle, which we call it. And what that does is keep the intersection open. And we have some issues in town where that should be done. It might hurt some feelings, but it's a safety issue, and certain intersections should be looked at a little better where we have these issues.
Can you reach out to that property owner and see if they'll let us, because we only have a limited amount of area we can clear in the right-of-way. Can you reach out to that property owner there and see if they'll let us clear it?
I can do that.
Okay.
But I think that's for a start. That's a good way to start. If that doesn't work, you're not getting hundreds of people coming and saying that's a dangerous.
No, but 6 complaints
One
over
death is
2
one death
different,
is too
that's a,
many.
that's a
So they
lot
should just
from one
take 'em out.
community. From 2 different, it was not just one time, it was, I was there over the winter time at a public safety, public forum that they held with the chief. You know, if you could speak to that property owner and see if we could get, if the town could clear that out, maybe that would solve it. If
That's
not,
something we can check on. Like I said, we modified that intersection. I come down there, if you come right up to the white line, you can see what's coming. You may need to modify just trim the bushes a little bit, maybe a foot or so back. That would help out tremendously.
Okay.
I agree.
Start with the small stuff and then work your way up to the.
I think with all the people, and I think putting a beware truck route ahead, just even if you have to put it 100 feet before you get to the intersection, but most people go down there realize what's up.
Most people, I know, like John said earlier, you can put all the signs up in the world, but if nobody enforces it, they're useless. So,
Well, you know,
we
you
can
have
put
to
one
give-
up there if you like.
You have to give some credit to the people who are driving the streets. They don't need a police officer to tell them how to drive. But
I'll give some credit, but not a lot.
I hear that.
Thank you. You're doing a good job, Peter.
All
On
right.
that intersection.
Does anybody else wish to be heard on this matter? All right, not seeing anybody, we'll leave it open to August 14th at 4:30 in the town clerk's office. That's the last of the public hearings. Does anybody wish to be heard on resolutions?
Sal Mastropolo, Calverton. Resolution 569. Is that a new position?
No, Scott Harrington left, and there's actually a misspelling in Mr. Pierce's name. It's not, Diane, you have that, it's not P-I-E, it's P-E-A-R-C-E. So we will change that. There you go, Diane.
Resolution 571. There was no attachment.
Yeah, there is no attachment. We have it. Awards bid for lubricant items.
Resolution 581. The 6th whereas. Can you tell the public who the private partner is?
Oh, that's Bob Castaldi. Is this the Bob Castaldi?
Yes.
Is that,
Yeah, this is Bob Castaldi.
was that the 2nd Street Firehouse?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Resolution 584 and 585. The 2nd whereas says the 2nd day of December 2015.
Huh, didn't happen yet.
Right.
I'm assuming that, I can't assume anything, I'm assuming that was 2014, because this is quite old. So We can go with 14 if we have to amend it, because I'm almost positive we did this in December. So it's probably the second day of December 2014.
All right, well, those two resolutions need it changed.
Can you call down to Laura Anne Marie and see if she can pull that? She may have that. We'll double, oh. All right, does anybody else wish to be heard on resolutions? Not seeing anybody. Diane?
Resolution 564,
Equipment and asphalt budget adjustment, so moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 565,
It ratifies the appointment of a Poland summer recreation aide to the Recreation Department. So moved.
And seconded?
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 566,
Appoints a call and recreation specialist to the Recreation Department. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 567,
Ratifies the appointment of a call-in recreation aide to the Recreation Department. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 568,
Appoints a part-time maintenance mechanic, 1 to the senior program, so moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 569,
This appoints a provisional principal accountant. So moved.
And seconded?
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio.
No.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
I think isn't this the one?
Yeah, this is the one. We have to change the name.
Yeah, we have to change it.
I give it to Diane already. We're going to change the Pierce spelling.
No, but the amount that we paid.
What are we changing
It
it now?
was in the 70s.
No, that's what we
Yeah, I
agreed.
don't-
No, that's what we agreed to pay him.
I don't think so.
That's
Is
exactly
this
what we
contract-
had.
Is this contract in here?
No.
That's exactly what we agreed to pay him.
Is that what's on his contract?
That's what we published it as.
Adam?
That's what we published it as. That's what we published it as.
It doesn't matter. That's what we published it as. It's what we discussed in executive session.
That's right.
Well, when was this done? This
I
was
just
done this
wanted-
past
do you have a
Thursday?
copy of his
Because we were-
contract?
I was
Wait,
out.
wait.
When is this?
This was done Thursday. This
Thursday.
is what we discussed in work session. This is what we published it as, and this is what we gave the accountant when they did the interviews, the salary. There's been no changes. There's been no changes. This is exactly what it's been as the whole time.
I don't think so. I don't know. I'm gonna abstain because I just don't, I don't know if this is the correct, resolution. So I abstain.
Well, let me, this was done at Thursday's executive session, right? Decision was made this past Thursday?
Right.
Well, this is, where's his contract?
So,
Who got a
I
copy
was
of his
out, I had
contract?
missed it. I just want to say something real quick. I don't know what this number is.
This is
I sat
exactly
out.
what we discussed. This is
I don't even know that this
exactly,
person was picked that was out.
I
But
don't know.
it may be the person, I don't have a problem with that, but.
this was the salary that was discussed, John. This is what was published.
Okay. I know what you're saying. I just, I thought it was, do you have a copy of this contract?
The contract.
From May, but that's the contract.
I'm gonna abstain because I don't know.
Okay.
Walter.
I wanna
Yes.
see his contract.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 570,
Awards bid for 2016 ambulance for Riverhead Volunteer Ambulance Corp. Inc. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio.
This ambulance is much needed and it's a long time coming. Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 571,
Awards bid for lubricant items, and I would like to amend this to include that the clerk would attach a copy of the bid that was received to this, so that it will be online and in the clerk's office
with the attachment, yes.
with the attachment. So I'll move it as amended.
And I second.
That doesn't have to be amended. It's supposed to have the attached bid on it.
Okay, but it's not here,
I know,
so
it
I'm
doesn't
going
have to
to
be
amend
amended.
it to
We don't-
attach it.
But you don't have to amend it. It says the attached items. We just have to attach the pages. So we'll attach the pages. But there's no amended language you would need.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 572.
Approve Chapter 90 application of East End Arts and Humanities Council, the Humanities Council Incorporated. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Abilities would be good too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 573.
This authorizes the town clerk to publish and post a notice of public hearing to consider a proposed local law to amendment of chapter 101 entitled Vehicles and Traffics of Riverhead Town Code, specifically 101-10, parking prohibited, and 101-10.2 for no parking certain hours on Ostrander Avenue. So moved.
And seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 574.
Amends resolution number 457 of 2015, and that was the naming of Epcal Trail. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yeah, this just shortens the trail name, and instead of calling it a walking and biking trail, it could be used for cross-country skiing, and it could be used for rollerblading, it could be used for other things. So we are still going to be keeping it as the Vietnam Veterans Recreational Trail. So yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 575.
Ratifies the authorization of the supervisor to execute a license agreement with Young Hope Productions Incorporated. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 576.
Accepts monitoring fee of Island Water Park Corporation. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 577.
Authorizes the town clerk to distribute veteran discount cards to eligible veterans. So moved.
And seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 578.
Orders establishing extension number 86, Riverhead Water District, STR Systems, New York. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 579.
Authorizes the town clerk to advertise for bids for the Riverhead Water District regarding installation of water mains and appurtenances,
Appurtenances, yeah.
appurtenances, Middle Country Road Extension 77 and 86. So moved.
And seconded.
That's not a word you see every day. Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 580.
Ratifies the extension of bid contractor for well and pump emergency services for the Riverhead Water District. So moved.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 581.
Authorizes acceptance of the New York State funding to support a Suffolk County Regional Agritourism Visitor Center. So moved.
And seconded?
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 582.
Approved site plan of 307 East Main Street, LLC. So moved?
Seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yeah, I just know there has been some controversy about Caitlin Shea's wall art and stuff on that, so I hope that the owner will seriously look at some of that public opinion when designing this.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing, it's a good use of that property, so I support the site plan. Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 583.
Ratifies authorization for the supervisor to execute an agreement with Thompson Reuters Corporation. So moved.
And seconded.
Moved and seconded, vote please.
Giglio.
I'm going to abstain, because I don't know about this.
Gabrielson.
This is to get
The
the
law books
law
for the
books
court.
for the courts,
The
for
whole
the
bunch of
judges.
course. Okay, yes.
Wooten.
Yeah, this is just to keep up with the changes in the law and update that law books, yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 584.
I'm waiting to get the corrections on the date.
I'm pretty sure it's the 14th, so if
If we have to amend it, we'll amend it, but I'm pretty sure, I know it was in last December, so I would assume that the second day of December was the date. It's just a question of the time. Hold on a second, will the calendar go back that far? Oops. See if my calendar will go back to December and make sure that's a town board meeting day.
And in the interim, I have the reports that you wanted annexed to the
It's
bid.
a town board meeting day.
Thank you.
I'm fairly confident that it was the second day of December 2014. So I think we can, if it has to be amended, we can amend it again, but I think that's it. Who's looking for it?
Okay, Joanne.
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it was.
I agree, because it came about right around the time when the roads weren't getting plowed, so.
What day you looking at, December 2nd?
Second day of December 2014.
Day meeting,
Okay, so John, you wanna call it?
You finished, I don't
Of course,
need-
I
are you
noticed,
finished your
noticed of
discussion?
adoption. The notice of adoption, Emery, just flip the page.
I gave Joanne.
Oh, no, read the top of this page right here.
Rental dwelling units.
Yeah.
December 2nd, 2000.
Yeah, that's to be amended.
Okay, that has to be amended.
Yeah.
To strike that, right?
Let's see.
I think we should, I make a motion that
Well, no,
that we
it's a.
table this,
I don't wanna
resolution
I don't wanna
until
table it,
we
let's
Well, I
try to
asked
fix
her
it.
to get me a corrected copy of the entire.
The
So
date's
if
correct,
the
it was
town
a
board
210.
would give
I know,
me,
but
no, it's,
The notice of adoption.
Notice of adoption is talking about a rental.
yes, that's right.
Here's Bob.
So I make
Okay,
a
so
motion
let's-
that we,
well,
table it.
I think we can fix this
Yeah.
quickly. So please take notice that Town Board of Town Riverhead adopted, here, do you want a copy of this to look at? I shouldn't be lawyering this. Maybe it's in this one.
yeah, so the notice of adoption would read, please take notice that the town board of the town of Riverhead adopted a local law.
We never adopted
Amending-
that law.
Wait, okay.
Why can't we just table it and then
Yeah,
withdraw it
I
and
don't know
adopt
why we
it,
don't-
correct it 2
We're
weeks
not
from
amending
now?
anything, this is a
Yeah,
new law.
No, no, this
It's
is,
a new law.
this is, right, how the notice of, I'm
Yes.
correcting the notice of adoption.
Okay,
that
correct,
you
correct it. Let's see
adopted.
if you can get it right, then let's correct it to get it
Okay.
done.
So the notice would read, Town of Riverhead, notice of adoption. Please take notice that the town board of the town of Riverhead adopted a local law amending Chapter 92 entitled Highways, Streets, and Sidewalks of the Riverhead Town Code at its regular meeting held on,
Second day of December 2014.
Well, no,
no,
because
it'd be
it's adopted
today.
today.
Oh,
Today.
sorry.
Right.
on August 4th,
Okay,
2000.
I'm fine with that.
And then the rest of the provision, the board will know reads correctly.
I don't know, this is the first time we're seeing this.
I think it's fine. I
Well-
think that's all you
well,
need to do.
Well, it isn't the first time you're seeing it.
Yes, the
There
first
was a
time-
publish and post for a public hearing, which set forth this proposed local law, which is annexed here too. You held the public hearing, the public made comments, and today it's on for adoption.
The-
I admit that the first preamble, this was prepared
The
erroneously.
streets were a public hearing. I don't know about the streets, I don't know about this new code that we're putting in our code.
We had a public hearing in
Right.
December. You were there. Public
But
hearing.
that was on the streets,
That's the
Yes.
next, that's the next one.
not on the code.
It's both. We did both.
Yeah.
Well,
We did
that I
both.
didn't,
We did both.
In order to,
you can't even find a
identify-
public hearing.
Well,
So this was able to pull it up on,
You don't have a code, you
so
can't,
it'll show you the two notices.
you can't accept it when they pass it on.
I know that.
December 2nd, 2000.
okay, December
She
2nd,
confirmed.
2014.
She confirmed it. She's changing it to from 86 to 92. Good.
Right, it's 210 now?
This is the schedule.
That's you from your agenda, John.
There's no reason to table it, because we can amend that from, take out the word, what was it, 86, and put in 92, and we're done. That's it. All right, is everybody comfortable with the resolution as amended?
Yes.
Okay, can I get somebody to move it as amended?
Oh, adopts a local law to amend chapter 92 entitled Highways, Streets, and Sidewalks of the Rivertown Code. So moved.
As amended.
As amended,
As
as to the
amended.
date of the, it should read the second day of December, 2014, and the public notice would be amended to read chapter 92, Highway, Streets, and Sidewalks.
That's correct.
Okay.
Second to what she said.
Moved and seconded as amended.
Giglio.
Yes, this is just for the purposes of plowing and sanding. Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes, I thought other roads should be included in this,
The road's the next
but,
one.
they weren't. But I don't wanna hold up people that do need the plowing and sanding, so I vote yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 585.
585 actually is the incorporation of certain roads into the town of Riverhead pursuant to the amended chapter 92 entitled Highways, Streets, and Sidewalks of the Rivertown Code, town of Riverhead 189 roads.
As amended with 2nd day of December 2014.
As amended, correcting the year on that. So moved.
And second?
Moved and seconded as amended.
Giglio.
Yes.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yeah, again, I think other roads should have been included, but I hate to hold up, people that need it, so I vote yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 586.
Authorize supervisor to execute a professional service agreement with ABL Network Solutions. So moved.
Seconded.
Moved and seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio.
What is this?
This is to Bill London and a group to come and test our computer systems for security.
No.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes, this is something that we do need for our, internet service. I vote yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Resolution adopted. Resolution 587.
Here's the bills. So moved.
Second that, John?
I second it.
It was actually attached to another resolution. Moved and
Okay.
seconded. Vote, please.
Giglio.
I have to disclose that the recreation department uses my husband's golf course for a golf clinic for the campers. So I'm disclosing that, and then I will vote yes on the paying of the bills as per the recommendation of the town attorney.
Gabrielson.
Yes.
Wooten.
Yes.
Dunleavy.
Yes.
Walter.
Yes.
Check that.
Resolution adopted.
Okay, now we open the public comment portion. Oh, this is the attachment, sorry. We only have two. I guess I don't have one. Does anybody wish to address the town board on any matters before the town board? Or any issues that you'd like us to be aware of?
Antoinette Carboni, Riverhead. I just want to bring up the problem with the intersections again. We've been discussing this for about 7, 8 years at the Traffic Safety Committee. The writing should be in plain English. It should be understandable. We shouldn't need geometry lesson to understand the code. And it shouldn't take 3 years since I last came here and got Jody's support to write one. As I said in my email, I was a paralegal. Believe me, by the end of the day, I would have had that written up. It should not take 3 years. It's a big problem here. That's why you have people asking for traffic lights, stop signs. You got roads that aren't perpendicular. They just cross one another at an X. It's important to have visibility. You encourage tourism, So you have strangers coming into town, and they have to edge out. You have an obligation to your citizens to protect them and make our roads safe. And I don't intend to come back in 3 years and talk about it again. If I have to come back monthly, I will do it from now on until something is done. You know the roadways. I brought them up before. And code enforcement, if you don't have enough employees, that should be beefed up. And get this town on a safe schedule. The other problem we have is speeding. No one gets a ticket for speeding. Middle Road is down to 35. It's not low enough. You still got cars speeding through it. It's a bypass. It's not meant to be a bypass. Do something. I'm on that committee 9 years this September. I'm the only non-salary person on that committee. So I can come here and speak and not worry about if I'm going to lose my job. So do something.
Antoinette, I believe my assistant asked you to come to the next code revision committee meeting, and John is going to come also, because the protocol is that if there's a traffic safety concern, it goes to the traffic safety committee. The traffic safety committee then makes a recommendation to the town board. So there are others on the traffic safety committee that don't agree with your sentiments exactly, and they say that we have it in the code already, and that it's just a matter of enforcement. But I think that we can put it in plain English too. I agree with you.
I
but
think New
we
York
have it in
state
the
law
code.
requires that your code be written in plain English. And I'm not saying that the code is not in plain English, but it shouldn't be a geometry lesson. We shouldn't be talking about a 30-foot triangle.
I
We should
agree.
be saying something like 15 feet from the curb.
Well, that triangle that's actually,
Yeah.
state highway dictates that.
Yeah.
It's not that we do.
But you can write your code.
Right, we've got to mirror the state.
Not
But
word
that
for word.
triangle, I got it in my office, I'll show it to you.
Not word for word. You could write your code in plain English.
I agree.
That's number one. The other thing is, there is an exception in your code, and that exception is for chain link fence. There can be no exceptions.
Okay.
Absolutely none. There should not be an exception because it's a chain link fence. There's a chain link fence at Middle Road and Ostrander that Mercy McGann High School has put up, and it's a hindrance. I don't want to be told, John, that's because I'm shorter than 5 feet tall, that's the problem. I'm not the midget in the town. There are other people as short as I am. But it is a problem, and no one addresses it to Mercy McGann. And I don't care that there's a traffic light there. You do have people making a turn on a red light, and cars coming down. These are problems that have been brought up to you, has been brought up to the Traffic Safety Committee. I have to assume that John is bringing it to the rest of the board, but obviously years and years, it's not being addressed. I won't take more of your time. I'll be here again. I did not receive an invitation to the committee you're talking about.
Okay, she was on vacation, so I'm sure you will.
How you doing, sir? If you could state your name and affiliation or hamlet for the record.
Yes, my name is Val Stipe. I'm the president of Old Vine Estates Civic Association. Number one, I would like to thank the board for the Veterans Card. I can't wait to use it. I got the number 2 card. I understand that John has the first one. Bob, you've changed back. I like the other, no. We all know about the drainage and the flooding issue in Old Vine. Discussed at town board meetings is a grand plan to solve most of these issues. The grand plan is in 3 parts. 1, purchase land north of Reeves Road. 2, raise Reeves Road. 3, the Vineyards Golf Course to build a short game area. We feel that the grand plan has a great deal of merit. However, to accomplish all 3 parts at the same time would take years to complete. We're asking the town board to consider completing the grand plan in stages. We're asking the town board to approve the Vineyards golf course plan to build a short game area now and complete the remainder of the plan as town time and money dictates. The Vineyards Golf Club is using their funds to build a short game area. If we should have another downpour, at least we have the Vineyards plan to assist in our drainage flood problem. No, I am not a golf member of the Vineyards. I simply would like to see the grand plan completed in stages. The Vineyards Golf Club is ready to build a short game area now. If the town waits, we do not know what the Vineyards Golf Course will do in the future. Thank you.
You just, Bob, I think that what it comes down to is the developer is supposed to fix all these problems. And I get it. Ultimately, the residents of the town are going to wind up fixing a lot of these problems. I understand that. But can we start as these, just much like the traffic lights, the street lights, can we start with forcing that first issue and get him to pay for that, whatever he has to do?
No, the golf course is gonna pay for it.
And so,
Fix what's first issue. The golf course is talking about doing a short game plan, which would be to develop an area where they had, I think, 3 pitching greens.
Right.
Short distance, 20 to 30 yards.
so how does that solve, what does that solve? That
That,
solves
that will
drainage.
take water that's coming off over Reeves Avenue from the north side to the south side and allow an area for it to be caught, slow down, percolate down, and then enter into what's that?
Island greens that you took.
Right, they will be
Correct.
done
They're gonna be
down.
island greens, they're gonna, the plan is to excavate.
What's
and have-
holding that plan up?
They haven't submitted the tributary areas, right, to determine the amount of flow that would go into that moat and that recharge area.
Mr. Guardiola wanted some engineering to be done to show us the velocities and the flows to get a better idea of how, whether that plan can be approved the way it is, whether it needs some further modifications.
So we're all working on it.
So we did ask them to come back and go to Mr. Lahat, who's their engineer, to provide us some of those velocity flows.
So we
To
don't
do
want to
that.
design something, as you can imagine, that would be more catastrophic if we held water and then we couldn't hold it and it released.
Well,
something.
they were
Well,
gonna,
they were gonna put a
tie
drain in.
into, they were gonna tie into the existing drainage.
Right.
Pipe
road
it in,
drainage.
so I think we believe it would improve the situation and divert more water.
Right.
So,
Well, we as lawyers and town board members may agree, but we want the engineers to
that's,
say.
and that's
That's
what,
what
So
waiting
that's
for.
what we're waiting.
So we're waiting for
So we're
some
moving
input.
forward with that.
When you mentioned the engineers, which engineers? The
Oh,
town engineers or?
no, it was the Vineyards engineer, Mr. Lahat, who drew up the plan, who was supposed to provide us some data and some of that information.
So we're waiting on them.
Okay, great.
Okay, so
Thank
if we
you.
do that, then we can at least
Right.
get that first phase in.
Okay.
And that should solve some of the problems.
And in respect to the street lights, I hope there's been some things done. I did have a conversation with Mr. Keegan. It's my understanding that they will, with the exception of the light post that was knocked down either during snow plowing operations or otherwise, that's near the entrance to the golf course, because that one needs a new pole. That one will need a whole new replacement. That, tomorrow, he believes that with the exception of that pole, all the other poles should be operational street lights.
As of now, out of the 10, there are 3 which are working now.
Okay.
So 7.
So now it's 7 that we're down to getting repaired. My understanding is they're gonna be out tomorrow, and 6 more should be functional by the end of the day tomorrow, with that sole one being the one that's at the, as I said, on the east side of the road, just out opposite the entrance to the golf course.
Right.
Clubhouse, and that should, I understand, poles being ordered. Again, the conversations with him, Mr. Keegan, is that once they're fully up and functional, street lighting will come out and inspect. Presuming everything's in order, we're prepared to take them over.
Great. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sal?
Yeah, 2 things. Twomey Avenue, if you're going north and you get to Sound Avenue, the left-hand side, okay, there's some fancy shrubs which are growing right out to the edge of the road, and you almost have to pull out past the line to see the traffic going east on Sound Avenue, so if you want to address that. The second thing,
Liaison to the highway department?
That's it.
Can you-
So the shrubs are on the east side, right?
the shrubs are on the west side of Twomey, south side of Sound.
That's on
So if you're
private
gonna make a
property.
left-hand turn,
Cooperage, right?
Huh?
Right
Yeah,
across
across
the
from
road.
Cooperage, yeah, some
Jody,
fancy
can
shrubs
you ask
and,
the highway department if they
I'll
will
call
look
them.
at that and take them down?
Yeah, I think that
If it's
we
in the
need to
easement
clear
area,
the
we
right
can
of
do it.
ways and clear the areas and not allow shrubs to be built to where they're blocking sight distances.
the other thing is, you know, we talked about that four-way stop on Youngs and Riley and Twomey. If you're coming up the hill on Youngs, that guy put that fence on the south side of Youngs, and he put pine trees all along the fence, which I think may be creating part of the problem with that stop sign. Because I don't think you have good visibility when you come up the hill to the stop sign to see the traffic going north on Toomey,
Yeah, right.
right?
That's exactly right.
Okay. Last thing, is the Town of Riverhead board, the whole board, not just two people that responded to my email, gonna formally go after Wakefern and ShopRite?
I will call them.
I sent a letter.
You sent a letter? Very good, thank
I know
you.
his wife.
My wife called.
Very good, okay. I
know
think
a
it
few
would be a
people that call.
win-win for both the town and ShopRite if we got them in there where Wallbaum's is. Okay, thank you.
Does anybody else wish to be heard today? Not seeing anybody?
Make
Can
a
we get a
motion, we
to
close
adjourn?
the town board meeting.
Second, all in favor, aye, opposed, abstention, motion carries. Stand adjourned.
A lot more people walking around walking today than I anticipated.
Oh, it's today parking day?
It's every Tuesday. And, as I'll say to everybody, who's easier prosecuting people charged with criminal or something charged with-
Well, our parking tickets are too high. I would entertain a motion to reduce the costs.
I will tell you, the one that I don't do anything on is the one where people ride down the beach without permit, $500. You want a trial, trial. The ugliest.
Might have been guilty of that in my youth.
People want to give about $500.